There is already something in that location.
Look at the Gila, which is used for ratting a node cycle. It is super easy to use and relatively cheap. And even as a day one new player, you can technically fly it immediately, so let's dive right into it. But playing alone in EVE sucks, so if you want to take part in an awesome community, fly fun ships, make some dank ISK and have genuinely a good time, with constantly people around you to hang out with, come and join Suspect today and fight under the banner of our great ruler, me, so come and join today. Anyway, on with the video. First off, let's take a look at the fitting, which, quite frankly, is incredibly easy to use and understand. The Gila we will use a passive shield tank as well as an afterburner for additional transversal, meaning NPCs have a harder time hitting us. But you also have enough time to warp out thanks to your massive buffer if things do go sideways. We also have a multi-spectrum shield hardener next to the specific shield hardener we are using for running the sides. This means even if you do get attacked by other players, As long as you communicate with your friends, it might turn into a fun engagement you can win. For weapons, the Gila uses both drones and missiles. While the missiles are somewhat on top in your DPS, your drones are your bread and butter. Thanks to the Gila only using 2 drones and getting a massive flat DPS bonus, as well as the drones getting 250 more HP, it means it is super easy to use and not skill intensive whatsoever. Thanks to the flat damage bonus the Gila gets, it is very new player friendly, as it from the start gives you a lot of drone damage. In the rig slots we have 3 medium shield purger ones, due to them increasing our shield recharge massively. But I personally didn't fit Tech 2 ones simply due to their insane price, costing 13 million a piece. But if you want to have extra tank, you can get those as well, but just remember that they will be significantly more expensive. In the low slots we have 3 drone damage amplifiers to increase our drone damage even more. We could fit a damage control, but due to how much tank we have anyway, it is a better option to just take the higher ISK income you get from the extra DPS. And as always, you can find the entire fitting linked in the video description. But please remember, replace the kinetic shield hardener with the one fitting most for your area of space. If you're not sure which one to use, ask one of your fellow alliance members. It is a slight but necessary adjustment you have to make. Anyway, with the fitting out of the way, we will now take a look at the skills you will need to fly the ship. Video description as well. Only meaning you sure that before you leave the site, you bookmark your MTU so you can walk back to it once you've finished ratting and come back to pick up the loot. For picking up the loot, you might also want to store any tier 1 hauler of your choice in the system where you're running the combat sites. This will allow you to pick up all your MTUs in one go and not having to keep on docking back up because you run out of cargo hold. Furthermore, you should also consider getting a PvP ship ready in the station to defend your ESP. So try to avoid ratting in your staging system. Your staging system will always have the highest amount of traffic of not only friends
like bounty ticks. The amount of NPCs you destroy is very few. Often just mainly cruisers, battle cruisers and frigates. There's only like 1 or 2 battleships there. And battleships, those are the NPCs that have all the bounties in them. So really, the bounties you're going to be getting from these rally points is going to be minimal. The main profit you could say is from doing the DED sites, which you get once in a while, not at all so often. Something that is a lot more consistent, you could say, when you go in these havens is the bounty ticks. You can get a lot more ISK consistently by taking out the NPCs there. So havens are great for being able to get a high amount of bounty ticks, more consistent income. But you can also consider to be doing the Forsaken rally points as well. Another. Okay, let's see. Do we have a mobile depot anywhere? Okay, and it's not mobile depot actually. It's mobile tractor unit. Big difference, because mobile tractor unit is something that pulls in stuff for us. Okay, we've hardly got any ISK. Cap without some, give some extra.
È arrivato il Black Friday di Hostinger. Hosting WordPress gestito da soli €1,95 al mese.
Extra, control range, but not damage. Damage is what we want actually. What is our cruiser level? A Galente cruiser. Oh, our Galente cruiser is not that high. We should give lots of bonuses to our Gila. But I think I'll move them down just a bit. Advanced drone avionics can be all the way down here. We don't need that much range for our drones. And we're attacking so well. We're not even having to use our shield booster and we're attacking so great. It's amazing. D-scan. I don't really have to lock up anything because I've got the auto-targeting system going on. Or at least I don't have to focus on locking up everything. I can maybe lock up 1 or 2 that I'm focusing on initially and then the rest are locked up. It's so petty little things, but it saves you a few extra clicks. And it's also just a great use of a utility heist. There's not much else we would use there that would be useful for the Gila. Could put an Nosferatu, for example, or Neutralizer. It could be good in PvP scenarios. But I feel like the auto-targeting system does a slightly better.
Hey you guys, it's the Xbox Gamer! Each of these clone-based tags, and the 1 point. Because Gristers use rockets, while Sanchas use blasters. Look at the two Sanchas rather than. They start going up, they start becoming a bit more harder. But I did find it a lot more easy to take out the two Sanchas rather than the two.
Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Welcome back to our Nelsec little mini career, you could say. A career on the side. My character that is based in Nelsec. Hardly worth anything. Yeah, I think that. So we're going to sell it with a profit. Right now, I just want to focus a bit on ratting. I want to just try ratting. I just feel the ratting. And what I want to do is I want to do the rally points. Rally points is because they can escalate to a 6 out of 10 DD side. So that's why I want to get those going for a rally point, a Garista's rally point in particular. Okay, we'll see. Do we have any good skins? We don't have any particularly good skins, unfortunately. Valkyrie is pretty cool. Vampire's Hex. Nah, Helmet's Harriers is pretty nice. Emperor Bear. Etheric Rays is by far my favorite.
Because the crazy range you have.
My Vespas are missing. So you don't have smaller stuff in here, never mind.
No, I do not. I usually a little sick tanking. Because you have insane range on those drones. Just orbage at like 10 or 15.
My Vespas are missing. So you don't have smaller stuff in here, never mind.
No, I do not. I usually put them on the cruisers and then just fire the rockets at the. Valkyries should have no problems hitting the smaller stuff. They've got the highest tracking of any drone.
I'm just gonna send the drones on the defenders.
So you can see the damage. You got good drone skills?
I think I do. Get about 300 DPS with the drones.
Oh, okay. Doing about 350 with the Vespas.
The hammers are gonna do more damage, right?
Yeah, absolutely. This is why I like to run this in twos.
I mean, it's still a pretty cheap ship, 480 mil.
Yeah, it's cheaper than my Tech 3, so that's why I like it. It's also idiot proof, and I like that part too. I can give it to people like when Black came down and he wasn't sure how to.
This is behind the scenes of a grand draft horse competition. Many people may not know what draft horses are. Depending on their purpose, horses are divided into 7 types. Riding horses, pack horses, draft horses, race horses, performance horses, experimental horses, and wild horses. Among them, draft horses are used to transport materials, simply put, to pull carts. Draft horses are also known as heavy horses, and their biggest characteristic is their large size and greater strength. A large group of draft horses can weigh up to 1 ton and can pull heavy objects weighing 2 tons. Therefore, in ancient wars, draft horses were used to transport military supplies. The most famous draft horse breed in the world is the Belgian draft horse. It has a large body and is also known as the Belgian heavy horse. Its feet are much larger than those of ordinary horses, and trimming its hooves is also more complicated. Because draft horses have relatively short legs, they are very poor at running, and coupled with their large size, once their emotions become unstable, they are very difficult to control. Therefore, draft horses are rarely used as riding horses. Nowadays, people mainly raise draft horses for competitions. This is behind the scenes of a grand draft horse competition. Many people may not know what draft horses are. Depending on their purpose, horses are divided into 7 types. Riding horses, pack horses, draft horses, race horses, performance horses, experimental horses, and wild horses. Among them, draft horses are used to transport materials, simply put.
The Gila, and yes, that is how it's pronounced. It's named after the Gila monster, which is a North American lizard, is a very popular ship in EVE Online for a multitude of different purposes. For the longest time, I've flown it in abyssal dead spaces because it is a potently powerful ship for that, but it's also incredibly popular for Class 3 wormhole ratting. So, in today's video, that's what we're going to do, because I want to showcase everything there is about J-Space and different class systems, and how to rat them with a multitude of different ships. So, of course, with the Gila being a popular choice, it's about time that we addressed that. I'm going to take you through a fit that I'm using for this. It is a passive fit, and it has literally 1 button that you have to press other than warp and orbit and that kind of stuff. Literally 1 active module stack. How incredible is that? Like, genuinely, it would be boring if it weren't so novel. Ahoy there, folks! I'm Captain Benzie, and the ship on screen in front of you is the Healer, the faction cruiser for the Guristas Pirates. Now, ironically enough, having just given a lecture on how to pronounce Healer, I'm not actually certain I'm pronouncing Guristas right. Some people I've heard refer to it as Guristas, but to me that sounds remarkably close to barista, and I want to be thinking of a drone and missile cruiser wrecking the ever-living crap out of everything, not of getting my morning coffee at Starbucks or Costa or wherever, right? So I go with Guristas, but I'm sure there are going to be some people who complain, like a lot of you complain about how I say Abyssal Dead Space, rather than Abyssal Dead Space, because it's just how I say it. These are just words, and if you want to call this the Gila, I'm gonna look at you funny, but you're right, you're allowed to, go for it. If it makes you feel awesome, do it. But in this video, I'm gonna be referring to it as the Healer. I'm gonna be showcasing how we can use this ship to run Class 3 combat anomalies, every single one of them, and how you can do that with a totally passive fit. The only button you have to press that is actively tied to a module is your stack of ice slots. Other than that, it's just drone control and, you know, orbiting, and of course D-scan, because we're in J-space and D-scan, people. Seriously, D-scan. Anyway, if you do enjoy this video, or if you just feel sorry for me going through what is clearly a psychotic episode during the intro of this video, then drop a like. Let me know in the comment section down below how you pronounce those particular pirates led by the rabbit, and how you feel this fit works. I'm sure some of you have a better option as well. And if you do want to go the extra mile to help support this channel, keep me doing what I'm doing, and maybe send me to the therapy that I clearly so very need, I'm realizing slowly with the dawn of, like, you know, the sunrise coming over, just dawning on my mind, then you can do so by heading to my Patreon page, my PayPal tip jar, or my Redbubble merchandise store. I want to give a big thank you and shout out to all of my Patreon supporters. You guys mean the world to me. It is
As you might notice, a majority of the damage is from the drones, so while this is our first progression ship that is active, it's still not fully carried by its weapon system. Overall, the Gila falls slightly below the Ishtar on power projection / clear speed of Havens, but offers an easier skill path and differing input level for gameplay. Depending on your goals or career path, you usually choose between which ship to path towards in your skill training. If you plan on running Abyssal
Warp drive active. warp drive active.